Yellow. It is Tuesday. No, it's not Tuesday. It is not Tuesday. No, it is
Feels like
Sunday.
Tuesday.
Special edition of the Tuesdays tonight, guys, because it's the last show of the year and it's gonna be in the last game of the year in a massive Lisbon derby that we all witnessed today at the Cocina Valade with Rui Borges claiming his first victory no, as a head coach for Sporting, making now five coaches, not four, five coaches that make the debut and got a victory in a Lisbon derby. I was checking all the stats of the history of the game, and everyone was concerned, debating or discussing, is he really going to put four in the back? This team has been playing with a 3-4-3, like whatever. 567 games they played in the 3-4-3. And now, is he going to, right from the game, is he going to put four? That's the question. That's the main question. And yes, he did. And yes, it worked. And yes, everything, it is wide open now. And against all odds, because nobody, if you told me right now, today, on the Sunday 29 of December 2024, that you knew that Sporting was going to finish at the top of the standings by the end of the year, you're lying. You're lying to me. Now, here we are, guys. It's Tuga Tuesdays here with the boys. When I go first with my boy Mike. Mike D'Agostino, give me your opening on this.
Why do I gotta go first? It was a poor performance from start to finish. A horrible start, which put the team behind the eight ball right from the beginning. For me, I usually don't do this, but for me, Bruno Lage tonight got everything wrong. He got it wrong from start to finish, starting with that change in the 11, and then for first taking off Zeki, bringing on Pavlidis. That's fine to bring on Pavlidis. They needed to both be in the game at that moment. Bringing on Nicholas Best, I think I threw my remote out the window at that point. And then to top it all off is to bring in, just throwing mud in to see if it sticks with Artur Cabral in the last 5 minutes. I mean, there was no plan. No plan was executed today. And it showed. And in all the crucial moments, Benfica made the crucial mistakes. When they needed something, when they needed to be proficient, they were not. They made mistakes, unforced mistakes throughout the night. And you could have put two goals side by side tonight. Benfica weren't going to hit the goal. There was nothing was going in. I thought both keepers were good. I thought both keepers actually were good tonight. But Tomás Araújo picked a hell of a day to have his first really bad game. And that goal is on him tonight. He completely overcommitted, foolish mistake, and paid for it, getting a big 0 points tonight, going from first to third. There's very few positives I can take from this one. It's just everybody was off their game, including the manager from 1 to 23. Everybody was off tonight. And, there's 18 rounds to go, so it's not time to panic, not time to overreact. But tonight, very, very poor and unacceptable, in my opinion.
All right. Mr. Gomez, why are you okay? Do you take Xanax?
Okay, I need a little time to recover.
Don't even smiling.
It was a very nervy.
Give me your opening, brother. Give me your opening, but don't go freaking 5 minutes. Okay, give it to.
I think the key. The key difference in the game was that first half. Really surprised, by how Sporting came out, and Benfica had a really tough time with Sporting's press in that first half. I thought Sporting did a great job of recovering the ball quickly. Constantly putting pressure on Benfica. To sort of echo what Mike said, I was really surprised with just the loose passing and the turnovers. Really, especially in that first half, where Benfica would turning the ball over on some really loose passing. So I mean, I think that that first half was pretty much perfection. I thought Jenny had an amazing game. He was giving Carreras all kinds of problems throughout the entire game. He was critical to this win. I thought that Victor was giving plenty of work to the defense. He was critical in that goal. He was able to once Victor gets in behind you and he gets the ball and he's got a step, that's when he's at his best. And I like the fact that he was pretty unselfish today, combining provided the assist for the goal. I thought the defense was excellent. I thought Diomande was fantastic tonight. Sanjus also. Big surprise because I thought DeBost had actually played well the last couple of weeks. I fully expected DeBost to start. So when I saw Sanjus in there, I was a little bit concerned, a little bit surprised. But he rose to the occasion. I thought Quaresma was great defensively. I thought he was really aggressive. A little indecisive when he had the ball, but Mateus Reis also was it was a great performance, from the back four, having Morita back. I know, I did have to change my shirt, and my pants too. But obviously having Morita back, was going, at 100% in that first half. He was critical to, how Sporting was lining up tactically, how Sporting was, winning the ball back so quickly. Overall, it was a great first half. I thought in the second half, Benfica, of course, had more ball, put more pressure on there. But Sporting certainly could have scored the second goal. In that second half, those last 10 minutes, there were some golden opportunities. So I think on the whole, Sporting deserved to win this game. It was a good start for Rui Borges, and I do think that this is the way that I think I'm gonna give him. I think he's right on that one. But I do think I think these are the kind of ways Sporting is going to win now. The whole like the 5-0s and the 6-0s. I think those are those are a thing of the past. You're going to see victories like this, going forward. But nonetheless, it was a deserved win. Tactically well designed by Rui Borges, and I couldn't be happier.
Mr. Ruano, I don't know if Derek Thomas left something for you, but give me your impressions.
Listen, he played exactly how I thought he would. He was more compact defensively. I've been saying it since day one. João Pereira's biggest thing is defensively. We can't get one clean sheet. And what does this guy do on the first game against our rival? He gets the clean sheet. That's what you have to do. He came out. He was more compact. Morita being back was huge, like Derek said. Him and Humelin supporting Diomande and St. Just in the middle was very big, very big. So they were very compact, very good on the attack. I felt like they had more of the opportunities. They could have opened the game more. I agree with Mikey with Benfica. I feel like they got the lineup wrong. I would have started Amdouni behind either Pavlidis, something like that. We talked about that last week, how you would set the teams up. I feel like Benfica just had it all wrong. They didn't look right. They were just missing even easy passes or crosses. They were floating out of bounds, things like that. They just didn't look like they came ready to play right out the gate in that first half. They looked like they were the more nervous team because if they just changed their coach when we're the ones that were going through it. So I thought it was a great win. I thought the defense and Morita being back was just huge. And Victor just being Victor, doing what he had to do up there. And that was a great ball. I don't know what Araujo was doing that play either. I think Caceres got caught up. He got caught too.
He did. Yes,
way
he did.
Too high. Yeah, when the cross came in. So it was a good win. Very happy. What Mikey said, there's still a lot to play for. A lot.
Oh yeah. But it was crucial for Sporting to get this victory. It was, I think, it was a strong message. Not just to the league, but to all the Benfica's roster, the Sporting's roster. That this is a team that this was a team that was leading the competition for 2 months, and now it's just a sign. It's a sign of what's coming. That the title race is just going to be a lot more tighter than we thought it would be. And forget about that Sporting slipping out of the top 3. It's not going to happen. That's my view. I don't know who's going to win it in the end because there's a lot to play. But I think that now with this first impression, my first impression from Rui Borges, it was great. It was great. And from the get-go, I just saw the guy walking out to the pitch. And you can feel the aura. Yeah, you can feel the confidence. You can feel that this guy is like, I'm here. I know why I'm here. I know what am I doing here. Okay, let's make it work. Let's make it work. And you can feel it. You can feel it all across all the players, all the assistants, everyone. All right. So now, having said that, Mikey, do you think that I know Bruno Lage knows that he plays back four, but do you think it was were like, I'm not going to say that they were not expecting this, but not caught by surprise. But what's the term? What's the what can you say about this Benfica playing against this back four Sporting plan?
Well, there was only two possible outcomes. They should have been prepared for both. It was either a back three or /5 or a back four. I mean, we knew what Rui Borges does normally, and we knew at Sporting it was going to be one or the other. It's not like it was going to be something else. Benfica really struggled with Sporting's press all game. They couldn't get this is the part that I really lose my patience with Bruno Lage on, because he removes Pavlidis. Okay, for all you can say about him, he's a target striker, if nothing else. And you bring on a runner in Amdouni. And what does Benfica proceed to do but to send long balls the entire first half? Benfica could not keep the ball for the life of them in the first 45 minutes. It was just everything being sent. And when they did connect a couple passes, then, they'd be under pressure and it'd be a hurried just toe poke into space, always right to, Ullman was collecting balls all first half. He was fantastic all first half. He's collecting every loose ball. He's setting up the play like a maestro, like a orchestrator, just running Sporting's midfield, just keeping the ball moving left to right.
Right.
They had no answer for Catamo early on. Okay, he ran all over Benfica. Like Mauricio said, it was actually, I think it was Ba that was up too high on the goal that led to Araújo overcommitting, which what he should have done was stayed right behind Gyökeres and just not let him turn. And instead he tries to get in front of him and go after that ball that, at best he puts it out of bounds. There was no need to make that kind of a play. But I think what Benfica really lost this game early on was the inability to deal with the press and to continually give the ball back. So the back four or back three didn't even play into until the second half, because Benfica were not getting up there. They got up there, I think, twice. The only time in the first half Israel had to make a save was on the free kick from Kokshu. Yeah. Everything else wasn't even close. There was one time we got down there, and Auschwitz, who had who's been in poor form lately, who's been so good for so long, but has not been himself lately, gets right on the byline. And, and this is so uncharacteristic of him. He's looking for a penalty on Diomande where there's no penalty. He plays the ball across. It gets blocked cleanly. Was I excited? No, I shared that there was one change. Otherwise, no surprises. I would have liked to see Amdouni start, like we've said, behind Pavlidis, not in place of Pavlidis. Yeah. And, Artur Kuglu has not been good for a number of weeks.
Yeah, you're right.
He's more effective playing behind.
Yes, exactly. The change I would have made was Artur Kuglu would have been out of the 11. Auschwitz or Kokshu would have played over on that left side, and Amdouni would have slid in behind Pavlidis. Putting him as the striker, how many chances did he really get as a striker? Just because you can come off the bench and score against Estoril. You can score against Estoril in the second half when they're tired does not mean you're ready to start a game like this at that position as a striker. That's the key. Where he got it wrong was where he put Amdouni. No, but I don't think that the whether it was a back three or a back four really made a difference, because in the first half, I think he didn't even get up there to deal with that. So they had all of halftime to adjust to that, and then he made a good substitution in halftime, bringing on Barreiro, who I thought was good today, maybe Benfica's best player, because he actually made the change that Benfica needed, and we got the ball a little bit more. We got forward. He made a difference today. But again, he lacks the quality. He had opportunities, but doesn't have the quality, whether it's the header or when he gets the ball in the area and he goes down looking for a penalty you're never going to get. That's just, lack of experience maybe in these big matches, but Benfica needed more. They just needed more everywhere tonight.
Everywhere. And we're going to talk about the Turkish voice in a second, because we have here, he changed, man. He's a new guy. He's the same guy. He's the same guy, right? Yeah.
He's Inacio
Yolman. Wow, all right.
That's
quite a name.
All right, Lage is not that good manner. He does okay when the team is winning, but when things don't work, he's mediocre.
I disagree. Lage does good when the team is at rock bottom, as you've seen. When he comes in and the pressure is not, the expectation's not that high, you're 8 points behind, he does well. When he starts to, now you're in the race and the pressure's a little bit more difficult and every choice is a little bit more scrutinized. This is where he's got to show that he's got a little bit more quality than this, but we'll see. There's a lot of football to go, and there's a lot of bad teams in our league, so you can always pick up momentum going forward.
All right, guys. So we're gonna go with the sporting guys. I'm gonna break it down in two parts. Right. I'm gonna go with Derek. I'm gonna go with the back four specifically, and we're gonna talk about the Maury Hillman tonight with Mauricio. Right, Derek. This back four. I saw that they were shifting. Right, they were at one point they were going back three. They were almost. I want to say that never more than 20 seconds they were back four. They're shifted to three, and then they're four. Then they readjust and they readjust almost for the entire game. And I think that was the key for how effective they played tonight and at the highest level that they play all four in the back.
Yeah, I do. I think that they're now becoming accustomed to they're going to have to become accustomed to a back four. Like you said, they played with the back three for over 4 years now. So now there's going to be an adjustment. They kept on, correcting themselves and getting to that back four. I was a little bit surprised with, the election of Quaresma to be the right back, because I thought, Sanjus had played as the right back before. He played for a right back in his older clubs. So I thought that he was going to start on the right and Quaresma was going to be more central. But it worked out. So this is going to be really interesting to see, how this thing evolves. Diamande is sort of really starting to stick out as sort of the leader of, of that defense, sort of in the wake of losing, Seba Kouates, who was going to step up and sort of be the leader of that defense. It looks like Diamante is sort of like the pillar, of that defense. Gonçalo Inácio is coming back soon. So I would think that he would be he'd be a bona fide starter. I think that he's got his place there, with Diamante on the right and him on the left. So then that right back position becomes interesting because neither Sanjus or Quaresma are true right backs, but I do think that you're going to see some competition there, for that spot. And with Nuno Santos being out for the rest of the season, I do think, Mateus Reis has that spot locked down. I think he has more to offer than Maxi Arroyo, in my opinion. I think Maxi's still been, in my opinion, he's still been a little underwhelming. So I do think, Mateus Reis, has that spot locked down. It's going to be interesting to see, what happens when Inácio comes back and how he's going to figure into that. But this is going to... you told me last year. You did say that. Yeah. But I know, the thing about Quaresma is that there's been injury concerns, especially over the last 4 to 6 weeks. He seems to always, pick up a knock. So they are going to need, some of the guys to, to step up. I thought Fresneda came in, and again, Fresneda is not the greatest, but I think that he completed his mission. He didn't make he didn't make any mistakes. He defended Di Maria to the best of his ability. Really didn't let Di Maria do too much. I thought Di Maria had a very mediocre game today. But it's this. It's sort of exciting, but kind of scary too, because we've played with the back three for so long. So it's going to see, are we going to experience the growing pains of, going to a back four? So it's going to be really interesting to see how this defense evolves as we progress through the weeks.
Mauricio, with the starting sentiments for Sporting, right? With Pat Morita and Morty in the middle of the park, everything went back to normal in terms of balance for Sporting. So we did not see Hillman today trying to be the firefighter, trying to do everything from the left, everything from the right. So he got back to his original position because he trusts Morita. But what are your impressions on this double pivot for Sporting today?
No, Hillman came back to his old self. You could tell under João Pereira, he was just running around doing way too much. I don't know if they were asking too much of him or he was just putting it on his shoulders, it being a new coach. But you could tell in this game, he was just eating up all those loose balls, like Mikey said. He was back to himself. He was playing the right ball. He was coming back defensively, holding down the defense before they get to the backs. And Morita just gives him a sense of comfort. And he's been out for a while. And we've been with the young kid Simoes with Humelin, and maybe that's why he's been carrying it on. But Morita being back, they just have that connection. And Morita he sees the field just so well. The way he controls the ball, and he can play with Humelin, and they can switch back and forth. And, when Bragança gets back, like Nick is saying, that just adds on. And when Balt gets back, that adds on more too. He switches from midfield, goes up top. But them two playing together today was huge for this game. Just to get back to the way things were in the midfield, controlling the game, the pace of the game. It was just very, very good to see them back to the way that they were. Because under João Pereira, it almost looked like they were playing like blindfolded at times. Like, hopefully I get that ball. Or, oh man, I got this. Like, they were playing like hot potato with the ball. So it was very good just to see them calm, control the field. You can tell they took control of the pace and everything of this game. The way that Sporting was going back and forth in transition and everything. So it was good to see.
Mikey, we were talking about the passing issues, and I was when I was calling the game. Mm-hmm. I didn't have the chance to check on the actual stats and actual numbers, but I was estimating this is gonna be below 85%.
Yeah, I heard you say that. Yeah, I'm sure it was.
It was 81.
It was 81. Okay. Yeah,
81% on the passing rate.
Yes,
and that in a game like this, right? It hurts you a lot. It hurts you a lot, and I said this during the broadcast also that the Turkish boys cannot connect with each other.
No.
And at one point, and I mean, in the entire game, you cannot see the partnership between Aktoglu and Kokshu, and that when that happens in the middle of the structure on your spinal cord, the team feels it. Mikey, what are your thoughts on that, man?
Absolutely. Well, yes, the goal comes from a poorly executed pass, a switch that went out of bounds, led to a quick throw, and there you go. So, I mean, yeah, the unforced errors a lot of times. The passes were unforced.
Unforced errors, yeah.
And a couple times, Benfica were bailed out because they were fouled in making those bad passes. There was one I can think of. It was Zeki coming out, chance for a counterattack. But again, he gets nervous or whatever with the ball at his feet. It was a couple bad passes in a row that didn't quite hit the mark. So he's stretching for it, and he manages to get a toe poke on it before he's fouled. Because if he's not fouled, that ball is right back in Ullmann's feet, and it's going the other way again. And he would have already had his wide players, open out on the flanks to hit it, and there was going to be a delivery into the box again within a few seconds had there not been a foul there. So, I mean, yeah, it's unexplainable that there's so many. It's just so many poor passes,
so many mistakes that you cannot expect on this game.
That weren't even enforced. And I'm not trying to sound like Sporting didn't do their part. They did.
No.
But on top of this game was always going to be difficult. Okay, it was always going to be difficult. You were always going to go in, and again, Benfica are great at giving oxygen to those that are suffocating. And this is another example of it. Going into a team that's been struggling on the ropes. Yeah, they got a new coach, but still, the pressure was all on Sporting in this match. They could not lose this game. They could not go down 4 points.
You're right.
And Benfica come out, to start the match the way they did, and to make all those mistakes and to just give them life, give them, opportunities, confidence. It almost looked like we picked up from where we left off in that game at Alvalade last season in April. It seemed so similar. And, they got the late goal in that one, and it was like they came in winning 1-0 tonight. And I don't know why the nervousness was there, because like these guys said, the Benfica looked like the team that had just had the managerial change, like the team that that just dropped a large lead in the table versus the team that had won 9 of their last 10. And maybe they just got complacent with good results over a run of play against maybe not so good teams. We're going to find out, because the calendar gets a lot more difficult now. Braga next week, Famalicão after that. We're going back to the part of the calendar where Benfica dropped most of their points early on. I mean, it's just, and again, how many times was the outside back taking off and the pass went behind him, or the pass was too far in front and they didn't run it down? It was just poor. And another thing, a lot of times the ball was going over the midfield. They bypassed the midfield a lot of times. So
a
lot of times they're looking like this as the ball is being played over their heads. So they're looking for one striker by himself against 4 defenders, or they're trying to find Di Maria. There's an over-reliance on Di Maria and hoping that he's going to make something happen. And again, it's just crucial mistakes. And Sporting were here,
Nick saying that the passing is unlikely. There was miles of space between the back line and Hillman.
Sure.
Morita, but and they were the pants every time.
They couldn't find that space. That was the problem. Sporting closed it down quick enough, and Benfica played slow. They've been playing slow, and today it came back. It came to get them. Even in the end, there was no urgency. There was no speed. You got a minute left in stoppage time, and they're still making short passes sideways, getting it out wide.
I know, and I was saying,
going at
speed up the process. Speed up the process because you have no time.
Yes, and there's just again, there's just an unwillingness to change the way they want to play and to realize that the match is calling for something else. It's calling for a different style. It's calling for a different objective, a different mentality, a different methodology in the match. And it's just the same thing all the time. And it was tonight. Sporting were better. I disagree with Bruno Lage. This result was not unjust in any way, and it's getting on my nerves that the first thing he said in the press conference was that the result was unjust.
I gave Mateus props. What are you talking about?
What are you getting mad at us, man?
We gave him props.
Man. He played a fantastic game. I'm not going to say he was the man of the match, but I
said he's got that spot locked down.
We are on triple digits. Triple digits right now, over 100 viewers right now.
I had a feeling
going to join us.
99% of them Sportingistas, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure. Hey, crap! I was gonna Nick. You took me off, and you threw me off. I was gonna say something to Derek, and you come up with this Mateus thing. That's my question. The question. Yeah, I got back now. Derek, and those 2 chances from Geni Catamo late on the game and in the second half, do you think if we're gonna miss one more chance, Benfica is gonna score on us? Did you feel at one point that they were in danger, that your lead wasn't?
Especially the one where he went up the middle, and I think he did a good job of holding the ball and giving Maxi time to have space. A simple pass to the left, it would have been 1v1, and it would have been a relatively easy finish. So I did mention when I was watching it, I'm like, if we do not win this game, remember this play. I fully expected him to make that pass. I thought he was going to pass it earlier, but when he held the ball and he actually got more separation from Maxi, I thought it was genius, and I was just waiting for him to just slip that ball, and he didn't. So I was nervous that. That was going to come back to haunt us, that, something was going to happen, because, it's very easy to score a goal, whether it be a set piece, whether it be a mistake, something happens, a ball bounces the wrong way. Benfica could have tied the game, and we'd look back on that play. But, fortunately, I'll also echo what Mike just said here, that you did sense there was a lack of urgency there from Benfica in those last 10 minutes. You thought that, from minute 85 to minute 96, I was expecting this avalanche, and it just never happened. It just never happened. I think that Benfica's the best part of Benfica's if you look at the game itself, I thought Benfica played the best sort of those first 15-20 minutes of the second half. But then once Sporting made changes, you saw Sporting begin to nullify them again, and Sporting looked more dangerous there. Towards the end, when you fully expected Benfica to be the more dangerous team. So, like I said, overall, I do think that we deserve the result.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But that was at what point I was calling the game. I was like, oh my God, this guy.
That's gonna come back to honest. Yeah, plays like that.
He's gonna get back to you. He's gonna guide you in the ass, brother. They didn't. It did not happen, right? Mauricio, so that Nick just mentioned Mateus. We're not talking about Mateus, right? We're not talking about Mateus, right? Of course. Nick Johnny. Otherwise, he's going to go for another bottle of wine. He's going to go for another bottle of wine.
He's going to open up another one.
And he's going to, send the bottle to us. Anyway, Mateus Royce and Guillo Kenda, right? Specifically, I was not going to talk about specific about Mateus, but Guillo Kenda, that partnership in the left wing, I would say that for the first 20 minutes, the Gio Kenda was not comfortable. He was not acknowledging the overlappings from Mateus, and they were kind of blocking each other. But then at the end, he figured it out, and then the timing was right, and being ended up the most aggressive side for the night for Sporting.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's one of the reasons why I think at the end you could tell he didn't play himself a lot into the game, Kenda, that you would hope that he would, that he's done the previous games. I think that's one of the reasons why he got subbed out later in the second half. But you could tell Kenda over there I feel like more of a wing back. He's more, I feel like dangerous as a wing back than he is as a winger playing in this formation. Yeah. He's better in that 3-4-3 than he is in this formation. But again, it's a new coach. You got to get used to different things and how he wants you to attack, how he wants you to go up and down that wing. But you could tell in that second half, as the game grew on, he played with Reyes a little bit more. There goes that Mateos response. There you go, Nick. I got him in there. So the more the game went on, you could tell he was getting better, more comfortable. But hopefully Kenda gets more familiar with that wing, because I want to see him out there. I want him to just keep on growing. It's great to see him out there, but you never know. Now, with Both still waiting to come back, you don't know how he's going to play things. He could, move Both behind Yorkers like me and Derek talked about. In his formation, that's Both's best spot, will be right behind Yorkers, with having Trincão and maybe Kenda on the side and just moving forward with that attack. So hopefully Kenda gets a little bit more familiar and gets a little bit more pace over here on that side.
The only, I mean, I'm seeing scamming for Sporting, but I think that all those shiftings are going to be positive. I think Rui Borges is going to figure it out who's going to be better under a 4-4-2, and he's going to make some adjustments. He's going to make some. I mean, I want to say tryouts, but he's going to try different players in different positions, especially on the wings. Mikey, on Benfica, so Nick was saying that I don't know if you said it or who. I think Nick said it, that he played a poor game. That Angelito Mireya played a poor game. I'm not going to say that he played a poor game. All right, that like anyone else in Benfica, his passing accuracy was below
what he,
right. And but the other thing is that I think he was desperate. That I think he was the only one with a sense of urgency. So much that he dropped 40, 50 yards away from the goal. And he was the one who was pushing the team forward.
And he was alone every time he had the ball. There's no one anywhere near him. I don't know. I know a few times he's got the ball in a dangerous spot, but the camera pans out and there's nobody in the area. And there's at least 3 Sporting players. What's he has to hold it longer and wait for someone to arrive. And in that time, now it's a one-on-one dribble. And, the defenders were ready for that. They prepared for it all week. He didn't get the support he needed. Benfica didn't attack as a unit all game. It was all waiting for the individuality to take over and try to make one moment of brilliance to try to get something. He wasn't great, but he didn't have much to work with tonight. And a lot of times he couldn't get the ball in dangerous areas. And again, when he did, there was nobody in the area ready. It's going back to the one striker is not going to do it against a good team like Sporting. This isn't, with all due respect, this isn't Estoril. This isn't Fares. This isn't those teams. You need more bodies in the area if you're going to be relying on a winger to whip in crosses. And, again, there was one time it's Barreto who's open, and he's not a natural. He's not a striker in any way, shape, or form. So he gets the header, but he heads it way over the goal because that's not in his wheelhouse. That's not where he should be. And then, and when there was a good delivery, you know what? Israel played it well every time. And he had that one where he punched it out where it could have been the equalizer, but he timed it perfectly. Perfect time. So, I mean, I have a hard time blaming Di Maria for anything tonight because he had to play alone on an island, and and they overforced it to him, and he switched sides, but it didn't matter. He didn't get support, and you can't beat a team like Sporting by yourself, no matter who you are. I actually would have liked to see Di Maria drift into the middle and play more as a 10 in this game, and maybe have options to both sides. And who knows, maybe that opens up a shot, or it opens up that through ball that he can play in. But limited to one or the other flank, the touch line becomes the defender as well. You can't go that way. So obviously it gets easier to defend because he can only come in if he's on the right, and if he's on the left, he's gonna go wide for the cross. It's not as hard to defend. Everything was predictable all night.
And you know why I was so mad when I saw Benjamin Relacer on the bench just all stood up.
That's who should have come in for our Tuga instead of Best.
Why didn't you use Relacer, man?
Not getting a chance.
That was your best option.
Best was brought in to compete for the left back position. He was not brought in to be thrown in as a winger with 15 minutes to go down a goal. That's not what he was brought in to do. Obviously, he's unhappy within this role, and that obviously is going to lead to not playing that well. And again, you see Relizer sitting there. Yeah, you see Sheldrop sitting there. Either one of these guys could have used an opportunity.
I know it's gotta be Arthur Cabral. It's gonna be this.
Well, that was because he ran out of ideas and he needed another striker when he could have just kept Abnuni on, and he wouldn't have needed to bring on Arthur Cabral. But
Cynthia, right? Cynthia, Mike, it's why you get away with a poor play against lower level teams. Once you get top of the table, you gotta bring your best.
You can't make the kind of mistakes Benfica made tonight in a game of this importance and a game of this level. This is the equivalent of a Champions League match, and you have to be at the same mentality you're in the Champions League. And they weren't there tonight. They were in a Liga Portugal mentality, and they're like, I think they came in with the mentality, even if they lost like they did, they'd only be 2 points behind. But again, you can't go into these matches with that mentality. And it needed to be a do or die. Sporting came in like their season was on the line. Benfica did not.
It was on the line.
One team was rewarded and the other wasn't.
It was on the line.
Yeah.
That was the difference right there.
That was the difference. One team showed up to play football. The other team showed up to fight if necessary, showed up to do whatever it took to get a victory. Yeah. And one team took their opportunity. The other team never took an opportunity. So.
I know. Talking about opportunities, Mikey. Again, another game without Mikey. Derek. Another game with Djokovic not scoring, but being just he's massive. He's
massive. Yeah. No, I still like the way
he attracts in the goal. It's like everyone is focused on Djokovic. All eyes on Victor. They realize, there's more players coming, huh?
Yeah. It was an easy finish for Jenny. It was an easy finish. He does. It's what Victor does. He's got the reputation now. So when teams play Sporting, the focus is on Victor. And Benfica did heavily focus. I think so. I think
let's plan it.
Let's plan it.
Let's plan it.
Yeah. So yes. Yeah. I think that this is what happens, when Sporting plays any team, the focus is going to be on Victor. But I like the way how I found it to be very unselfish today. He was always looking, for like one-touch connections, especially in that first half, looking for Trincão, quick passes. He was critical in the goal. He was able to get on the other side of Araujo and get a step on him, and he make that pass to a wide open Jenny. I also think he had a great shot, and there's probably the save of the game with Trubin's save on him. When he was able to get some space, and it was a nice hard strike into the corner. But overall, I know he didn't score, but his presence was definitely felt. Overall, I was really happy with his performance. Again, always running. Always, going from side to side, getting out wide, taking defenders, off their positions, dragging these defenders out wide to open up more space in the middle, for openings, and it was perfectly exemplified, with Jenny's goal. So yeah, Victor didn't score, but Victor loomed large, in my opinion.
Absolutely, Mauricio. If you gotta pick one player, to stand out tonight, there, who would it be?
I would actually pick Morita and Humlin to stand out. I would definitely, because Morita being back just made everyone else comfortable. Even Humlin back to the way he was. I thought him being back, even though he's not 100%, was just huge for everything. Morita being back there. He would be my guy. He's definitely been just really solid.
Mikey, what about you? What about your Eagles? If you got to pick one, and if you
Yeah,
gotta pick
it's Barreto tonight. He was the best player. He made the changes. Um, our other key normal, consistent guys weren't. Auschwitz, Carreras were not good tonight. But Barreto came in, and he's the one guy that changed the mood of the match. He changed it from Benfica being on their heels to being on the front foot. He won balls. He worked. He chased them down. He brought that balance to midfield, solidified it, and still gave something going forward. So that's Benfica's best player tonight for me is Leandro Barreto.
That's Cinta is agreeing with
Yeah.
you. He changed the
Yeah,
momentum.
yeah.
He did, because you know what happened. You know
Or
what?
Truben med a few big saves as well. You could give it to him.
Oh
as well.
yeah, Truben was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Man. Truben
Yeah,
was
I don't want to
really
forget
solid
him.
tonight. Because
Oh,
Gio
that's
Kenda had a
massive.
great chance in the first half too,
Yeah.
and Ruben came out
Yeah.
quickly, made himself big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me close the window, guys, because then we're gonna blow. All right, shut up. All right, so what was I gonna say? In the back, talking about Barreto, because I want to say that the biggest issue of the night for Benfica, among many things that were wrong tonight, there was that channel. It was that right channel of you, because it felt like it was like 100 miles between Tommy Araujo and Alex Ba.
Yeah.
And what is his name? Florentino was coming late all the time.
Yeah, he had a bad night.
They got a highway open for Sporting to he fixed that, and then Barreto fixed that. He closed that gap.
Yeah, he did. He did, absolutely. And yeah, like I said, it was a bad time for Tomas to have his first really bad game. But a lot of that comes down to Gokares too, because he got in that space and he occupied him. And that opens this, that opened the space in between. And Ba defensively is not strong. We know that. And Sporting, exploited that. So, it was a tough night for that back line. But again, Benfica can't come away from a game without getting a goal and complain too much about the back line. So for all the mistakes, not getting a goal, you can't win 0-0. So you have to get one on the score sheet before you can pin too much blame on the back four.
Yeah. Now, Derek, tell me that you got to be honest with you, okay? I want to ask you this, but you got to be honest with me, okay?
All
right. So tell me, give me a percentage, right? Give me your percentage of you seeing your Sporting being the number one at the end of the night tonight. Before the game, what were your expectations? So what was your percentage like? Give it to me and tell me why.
I'd say, being honest, I give us about a 5 to 10% chance.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it. I mean,
this guy.
I'm just, but I mean, I watch. I watch every game. I scrutinize every game, and the way that these guys have been playing the last 6 weeks, led me to that conclusion. Because it has been it's been poor. It's been there's been a general lack of confidence in the team.
I like Cynthia's comment.
On all faults today. Yeah, there's been a lack of it's just been a lack of confidence, and I do think it comes down to a lack of leadership. I liked what Rui Borges did on day one. The day after Christmas, there's a presentation at 9:30 in the morning. So he goes there, he gets presented. He spoke confidently. He spoke, it didn't seem like he was pressured. He seemed pretty comfortable, in stark contrast to João Pereira, who, looked panicked, during these conferences. Then right after that, he actually went and had a conversation with, the leaders of the, the Sporting fan groups that follow him. I know he had a conversation with the Juve-Leo. Then after that, he had a lunch with the entire team. So right away, day one, the first hours as Sporting coach, he was just laying down the groundwork, sort of putting, a figurehead to the club, showing that, he's the leader. And I think that was sort of comforting to the players, comforting to the team itself, that, we finally have a guy who's going to take the reins here. And you saw that during the game, where he transmitted that leadership. He was going out there, he was very involved. In contrast, to João Pereira, where Sporting would give up a goal and he was running to the tablet to figure out what the hell had just happened. So you never really got that that sense of leadership from João Pereira. And I'll give credit to Rui Borges, from the first minute, that he took over this team. He's really tried to put his stamp on it. He's really trying to take the team by, take the bull by the horns and show everybody that he's a leader, that Sporting now has solid leadership, and, that we can continue to build and fight for the title.
Right. Now, before I go with Mauricio, I want to say to Cynthia, I want to say hi to Semota, who's her father-in-law. He always watches the games, and sending a big hug there. And I think they're in Toronto. I think they're in Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is supposed to be
right? Outside Toronto, but yeah, they're in
outside Toronto.
Yeah.
Mauricio, so give me your percentage. I know your percentage was higher.
Not a lot higher.
5 to 10.
This game, man. Come on, man.
Listen, my percentage was like 25%. It's not a lot higher.
5%. Mikey, can you believe these guys? Can you believe these guys?
Listen,
I thought I was stretching to predict a draw. I thought they were going to win. If I was hoping for a draw, so.
All right, so keep going, please, Tony. So give me your thoughts, man. But I'm scared about these guys. Man, why?
Listen, Mikey hasn't been living through the last 2 weeks like me and Derek have. We've been up here sweating it out by ourselves.
I did it earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Listen,
and
Mikey got what he wants. Yeah. Mikey had to go get help from Fabricio to get our guy out of here. Maybe that's what we need to do. We need to start asking Fabricio for some help.
Maybe.
And instead,
I think he blocked me, to be honest. I think Fabricio's blocked me.
Fabricio just gave Conceição a job just now. That's what he just did. So
they're saying that he might replace Fonseca.
Yeah. So listen,
good move.
I'm really happy with the result. They deserved the result. The opportunities were there. I thought Benfica just didn't offensively. They were just lost. I felt like they depended on Di Maria a lot. They felt like it almost like they were feeding him just too much. And like Mikey said, once he lifted up his head, it's like, well, who am I giving the ball to? Because Amdouni's the only guy there, if he is there. And he's not a guy to play those crosses. Like, that's just not the type of player that he is. That's why, like Derek and Mike, we all agree. He needs to be the false nine, like behind the false nine, playing that midfield role. That's better for him. And I just feel like tactically, Rui Borges, even though it was only in 3 days, he's the one that got it right. Yeah. Even though Lage has had the team playing good ball and things like that, I think in those 3 days, he gave the right message, which was defensively, let's just stay compact. Offensively, I know we got the talent. When we got the ball, just go up with the ball, do what you got to do. I trust in your skills. And I just felt like these last 3 days, he was just on them defensively. And he just played it really well. And like you said, once Inácio gets back, I feel like him and Diuman will just build a better relationship in the defense. And maybe St. Just does go to that right side, like Derek said, and maybe shares that spot with Quaresma. But I feel like Borges is starting to build something now. He laid down the framework, the blueprint of what he wants to play. And now it's just building on that. And hopefully they can.
And remember, Rui Borges already faced Benfica this season, and he did well.
It was just a couple of weeks ago. It was just a few weeks ago.
Just a few weeks ago, and Vitória were better than Benfica for large portions of that match. Benfica escaped with the 1-0 win.
So he had arrested.
He's coming in confident. This might have been a very well-timed move for Sporting as well, because they got him in a timely manner so that he could manage this match. And because he had already seen Benfica, he had one up on Bruno Lage, I think, a little bit in that respect, because he'd already seen them once. He'd already seen what worked, what didn't work. And now he's got better players at his disposal to attack what he might have seen in the first game that he didn't necessarily have the tools to go at in the previous meeting.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
But Benfica should have been ready for that, and they weren't. So,
want to talk about that with Derek about Mr. Barandas. He's been trashing Barandas since I don't know
I'm
2 months.
continue to trash him.
60 consecutive days. You're gonna give some credit for that. We'll go a quick shift. I'm gonna go back to you, Derek, in a second, but let me to have something. I got this key question for Mikey. This is it, right? So since Bruno Lage arrived, right, replacing Roger Smith.
Mm-hmm.
End of the year with a loss at the Derby. They started the season with a loss, and they're finishing the year with a loss. Not the season, but the year with a loss. How much did Benfica evolve since Roger Schmidt exit, and now how much do they need to evolve in order to get the championship?
They evolved a little bit. They gained a little confidence. I think that's the big difference.
Yes.
They gained a little bit of confidence. They're not playing light years better than they were. They had a few really good games in this run, but they're kind of back into that funk they were in under Roger Schmidt. I think Bruno Lage is maybe a little bit more likable of a manager. They seem to like him more. They play a little harder for him, but that seems to be wearing off too, because now you have unhappy players. You could see when the camera went across the bench, there's unhappy players on that bench, whether it's Antonio Silva, whether it's it's Benny Rollheiser, or it's Andreas Sheldrup. There's guys that are clearly beginning to get really. Nicholas Best, he's also, so that has to be corrected. He has to find a rotation. He's falling into the same pattern that Roger Schmidt fell into, of picking his 11 and his 11 play, and it's the same. He made one change tonight, but for the most part, it's the same guys all the time. It's the same approach. It's the same game plan, and teams are onto it. They're planning for it, and he's not adjusting. Again, all of his substitutions tonight made Benfica never once changed their look. They never forced Sporting to adjust to any real changes. They just swapped one piece for another, and it's a lot easier to play against teams like that. So I think Bruno Lage has to be the next to evolve, because the team made a little bit of a jump, but he now needs to take that jump himself if he wants to continue on and actually be a long-term option for this position. Because if it continues like this, more points are going to be dropped. We're going to fall into third. We're already there. It's only by a couple points, but if we don't make solutions, and if we don't make changes that lead to positive, results, and go on another run, we're going to lose the train again. All right. We already fell behind 8 points once. We're not going to make it up again. We cannot begin to let these two teams get too far in front of us. There's a tough matches coming up, and maximum points have to be earned. And Bruno Lage has to come up with a better plan. He has to be more versatile. He has to be willing to break away from this one system that he likes to play. And we all agree the move is to put Zeki in behind the strike. If we're all saying this, and most of the people that follow me on the internet are saying it, okay, he has to be humble enough to see that maybe my way's not the way, and maybe we have to adjust one or two things. It doesn't have to be wholesale changes. Just has to be well positioned changes, one or two here or there. And of course, Benfica's got to go in the transfer market and get a couple pieces. They don't need an overhaul, but they need a couple key pieces. They need to add some depth at some positions. And he needs more options coming off the bench, obviously, because when you're going to Jan Nicholas Best down 1-0 as a left winger, you need better options off the bench than that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was gonna go with more questions, guys, but my brother is calling me. I gotta go. I gotta go, because otherwise my boys don't gonna have food for tomorrow, and neither do I. So gonna go with the predictions, guys. Gonna go with the predictions for the next round. Mikey, do you have it?
I gotta pull them up. I didn't know we were doing this tonight.
Yeah. We're gonna do it for next year, and
because we still got games tomorrow, right?
Mario, we send you a big hug, brother. Thank you for listening to us tonight, and thank you to Cynthia. Cynthia says, I say we make a few moves, so I also get a giant billboard in England.
Yulman too.
Stop it,
I think Ruben needs some help. So Ruben needs a lot of help.
Ruben became Santa Claus for Benfica this year. He gave a lifeline where there wasn't one, but he needs to do it again.
He needs to do it again, right?
Yeah. Let's see here. All right, so we're not looking at tomorrow. We already predicted that.
Yeah.
Okay, Friday, January 3rd, Nacional hosting Madeira. If the fog, magically watch you, there'll be no fog that day. For Porto, there'll be no fog. Porto's going to win 4-0 again. I think they're going to go on a roll. I'm actually really worried about Porto.
Yeah, look at City. I need Robinson. What is that?
Yeah.
What is this? What is it? What do you got, man? What's the prediction for that one?
I'll go 3-0 Porto.
Yeah.
Derek?
2-0.
I want to say 3-1. That one. 3-1.
Nacional go.
All right, big one for you guys on Friday night. Vitória Guimarães Sporting.
I got that game, brother. I got that game. And Roy Borges against his former club. You know, baby. There's a big rule that every time that you play your old club, you win. So Sporting is going to win. Sporting is going to win. Guys going to win 3-1. Look at that. 3-1. 3-1.
I'm going to say, yeah, go ahead. You go first, Derek.
Oh no, I'm this.
I'm gonna hold your horses. Go, Mikey. Go, Mikey.
Okay,
Mikey,
I'm gonna say Sporting's gonna win 2-1. They're gonna win late. I agree that Rui Borges, he's gonna know the weakness and he's gonna eke out a tough result. But Vitória is gonna be super motivated as well. So
that's my concern.
And Daniel Souza's out there.
Vitória's gonna treat this like a Super Bowl.
Everything.
I think Vitória's gonna treat this like a Super Bowl. That's what I'm. They want to show Rui Borges that he's missing out. I think that they got the best up and coming Portuguese manager.
I think so.
I've been singing this guy's praises for a long time, and I'm going to stick to it. It was controversial at this point. Oh yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah.
Come on, give me. Have to.
I'm gonna agree with Mike. I do think we're gonna eke a 2-1 victory out of this one. But it's gonna be and I know you like drama. There's gonna be a lot of drama on Friday night. To say the least. Yeah.
So what? What is it? The one?
I'm gonna go with Mike. I'm gonna say Sporting's gonna eke it out 2-1. It's gonna be a high drama.
Ooh.
I'll say 1-0 for Sporting.
Penalty, huh? You got to put it like that.
I'm going to count on your boy Edwards to score. Make it a rival game. Ex-coach, ex-player.
Ex-TV. There you go.
Yes. That's it.
All right.
Mikey, what's next?
Moreirense hosting AVS.
Moreirense
wins 2-0.
2-1 Moreirense.
Mauricio?
I agree with Derek. 2-1 Moreirense.
All right. What's next, Mikey?
Benfica, Braga. Benfica will bounce back. They're going to win. They're going to win 2-0 at home next week. Braga's in a tough spot right now, and I think Carlos Carvalhal's days are numbered. Maybe João Pereira will go to Braga.
That's what Karma's coming after you, Carvajal.
Best thing would be Braga B. I don't see him coaching a top Premier League team anytime soon.
Mike, you play at home, right? That one?
It's at the Luge, yeah.
Mr. Gomez, what do you say on that one?
I'm gonna go 1-0. For some reason, Braga seems to rise to the occasion on these big games.
They do, yeah.
They played Porto very tough. They had Sporting beat. They're up 2-0 at halftime. So they seem to rise to the occasion this game. But it's it's Carvalhal.
Guys, what is that? What's chapadas?
Slap.
Yeah.
Slap. Yeah. All right. Okay. Mauricio, what do you got?
I'm gonna go 2-1 Benfica.
Yeah, I think Ricardo is gonna score. So 2-1 Benfica.
Okay. This is an absolute toilet bowl of a match. Boavista hosting Aroca.
Oh my God. Aroca to turn it around.
That means Gold TV is all over it.
Yeah. Gonna break the ratings record. Yeah.
And Jesus. All right. Jesus. I think Boavista at home, right?
Yes.
Boavista a penalty because otherwise they won't score.
Yeah.
Mikey, what you got?
I'll go 1-1.
1-1. Derek,
2 own
I'm gonna
goals.
go 0-0, and it's gonna set the lowest attendance record.
Oh, it is.
For the
It's
league.
gonna.
oh,
I think you're gonna have 552 fans. That's it.
Yeah.
Mauricio.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Aroca. I think Jason is gonna come through.
Man, that Aroca, man, that was so spectacular last season, man.
I think but they have enough quality on the team to be out of
Yeah.
the relegation zone. I
Yes.
don't know why.
Yeah.
You know,
They don't belong where they
They
are.
don't
No.
belong because they have this quality there that they should at least get
It's
them
a shame,
into
bro.
anywhere between that 10 and 14 spot.
Yeah.
It's just
Unreal.
maybe it's the
Mikey,
end.
Sunday.
next.
Okay, Santa Clara hosting Firenze. Santa Clara
Santa
needs to get back
Santa
on
Clara.
track. They're gonna win. I'll say 2-1.
2-0.
2-1 for me, Santa Clara.
I'll go 1-0 Santa Clara.
1-0. Mauricio.
I'm actually gonna go 0-0.
Oh, okay.
Benes came for the big draw
Yeah,
today.
you got 2 good goalkeepers in that.
Yeah.
matchup.
Yeah, you do.
Sir, you're right. You're right.
All right.
Mikey.
One of the more informed teams, Casa Pia hosting Famalicão.
They're for real. Oh yeah,
Damn.
they're for real.
I'll take Casa Pia 2-1 in this one.
I want to say 1-1 that one. I want to say 1-1. Fama pulling that point out of there, man.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Casapia as well. They are the informed.
They're on a run.
They're on a
Right.
run. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Mauricio?
agree too. I'm gonna go 2-0 Casapia.
2-0. All right. Mikey.
Estrela Amadora Estoril. That's
Yeah,
the
come
Sunday night game the league is giving us.
Really? Sunday night?
The 2 night games next weekend are terrible.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I don't have that game.
You got the Bovista game.
I got the Victoria Sporting, and I got the Benfica Braga. Those are
That's a good schedule.
Yeah.
next week. What's the next, Mikey? That's it.
We didn't even pick.
We're not even going to dignify the game with predictions.
Sorry,
I'll say
all right.
1-1.
I was saying
1-1.
nail that one. Nail.
Yeah, I'll go 1-1 on that one. Yeah.
I'll go 1-1 as well. Yeah.
Last game is Monday. It's Gil Vicente hosting Rio Ave.
Come on, Gilistas. I take my Gilistas, man. You know I always pick Gil Vicente, man. Always.
Yo, your friend Navarro's on the move, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
going to Braga.
Yeah.
He's going to
It's
Braga.
now.
Going to
Nice.
Braga, yeah.
Nice,
Nice.
please.
Good
please,
for
please,
him.
my
Good for him.
I really hope that he scored 450 goals for Braga, man. I'm sorry. And when they play Porto, I want to know when they play Porto because I want to see Navarro scoring.
I'm
against
sure
I'm sure he already knows.
Yeah.
He's got that mark in the calendar, no, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna play against this guy. I'm gonna prove it wrong. So wrong. All right.
I'll go 2-1 to Gil Vicente in this one.
Me too.
I'll go
No,
1-0
three.
Gil Vicente.
3-1, Gil Vicente. 3-1.
I'll go 1-0 Gil Vicente.
Mauricio.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Rio Ave.
Okay.
Oh, right. That's the surprise
In
pick.
Barcelos. Are you sure? In Barcelos? Oh no, brother. Huh? I don't know. I don't
But
know
these
about
got
That'd
those
be a
guys
huge
playing some
win.
good ball.
That would be a huge win for them. Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
That's
we'll
it.
see. That was it. All right,
That's
guys.
That's them all.
This is the last. This is Tuga Sundays because we're not. Everybody's gonna go party or whatever.
We've done Mondays. We've done Sundays. We're good.
So it's good, man. It's good. It's good to do the last show of the 2024, and so next year we're gonna come back stronger than ever, bigger and better than ever. And appreciate all the fans. There are 118 people connected right now, and hopefully we keep hitting triple digits for the next year. Now, how you say feliz? I say feliz año in Espanol. How you say?
Please don't know.
Please don't know.
Please
Yep.
don't know.
All right,
Same.
all right. Feliz año. Saying Happy New Year, guys. Thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
too, guys.
Appreciate you guys. Love you.
Yeah,
Thank you
have
for
a good
the
one.
love. See you next year. Bye-bye.
All right.
See you next
See you
year,
guys.
Hey, guys.
All right.
Bye.